Today's lesson is one that is a little bit more controversial nowadays. I'm not really sure why, be honest about that. But this is around the premise of surrounding yourself in an echo chamber, right? Being only allowing people in your life that share your same values, that share your same opinions, that are carbon cutter or carbon copy, cookie cutter versions of how you think and feel, right? I absolutely despise that in modern society, we cannot be civil towards people who have different opinions from us, right? I despise the fact that civil discourse is something that has been lost in our communities, is something that's even been lost in our schools, our universities, right? We don't teach people to have intellectual conversations and intellectual disputes. We teach them to get mad and say, well, you don't agree with me, so you're insert a derogatory label that is meant to dehumanize you and take away from the credence of whatever it was you were saying, right? So today's lesson is about if you're surrounding yourself with people who always agree with you, chances are you're in the wrong place. I'm going to give a couple different reasons for that. One, if everyone around you is always agreeing with you, right, that means that no one is going to call you out when you're wrong. And this happens frequently, no matter what ideology you subscribe to, no matter what type of things you work on, there are going to be times where you're wrong because we are humans and we frequently lack all of the information to make a decision up front, right? To be as arrogant as to feel that you will always be right, so you don't need to have people who will challenge you, is just insane to me, right? I am frequently wrong. There are a lot of things that, as you kind of can gather from prior videos that I've recorded on here, I've learned a lot of lessons through life. And the way I've learned those lessons is by being wrong and being exposed to things that, I wasn't exposed to prior to that, right? Being able to have the best solution most of the time is important to me, has always been important to me. If I always surround myself with people who think just like me, who feel just like me, I'm not going to have that best solution. The next bit is I'm not going to be able to grow. When you are always surrounding yourself with people who just agree with you, you're in a constant state of comfort, right? When you are constantly dehumanizing the people who disagree with you so that you have no reason to change, you're in that constant state of comfort. It means you aren't growing as a person, right? There are both merits and detractors from, let's say, any topic. Let's say abortion, right? Abortion is a very controversial topic. There are pros and cons to abortion. But when you see a lot of the narratives that are put out, they are put out in the sense of there's only pros or there are only cons. And if you feel any other way, you're a baby killer or you're a woman hater, right? Both of those labels are just absolutely stupid, okay? I'm just going to be honest. They are stupid and childish, right? How do you reach an understanding if you're vilifying the people around you, right? And people say, oh, well, I don't actually need that person's opinion. That person is whatever. I don't care. Well, for every person like them, there's a whole bunch of other ones. And unless you live in a community where none of those other people are around, or you are solely self-sufficient, you don't need other people in your life to be successful, guess what? You probably should care. Because the quality of interactions that you have with other people can be directly linked to your ability to think and have relationships with those people, right? Another example I can give is, let's say, universal health care. There are both pros and cons to universal health care, right? But when we talk about it, you're either a communist or you don't care about people and you want everyone to die. Not really how that works, right? Because there are both pros and cons. And you pick any topic, free lunches for children at school. There are pros, there are cons. Every single thing you can think of, there are pros, there are cons, right? So don't always surround yourself with people who will simply agree with you. I have several people who are in my life right now that I keep in my life simply because they are polar opposites from me in values, in political discourse, in industry, in a lot of different capacities, right? And I will bring up ideas and have intellectual discourse with these people who will challenge me to think through my ideas, right? Because if I can't justify what it is that I'm doing or why I'm doing it, it's probably not a great idea. Mm-hmm. If I have to resort to calling them some derogatory slur, or I have to resort to giving them a label that dehumanizes them, chances are my argument is not very good, right? Honestly, it's probably not very good if I got to do that. So I should probably revisit my stance on something and go, why can I not explain this better? Why is there not a better option? And, you will encounter people who will just stay stuck to their ideologies, right? They will refuse to grow, and that's fine. The point of the matter is that you listen to them, that you can hear them and not feel offended by a different opinion. So there's a lot of different opinions out there in the world. I don't agree with most of them that I've heard, but you know what? I should be able to listen to them without becoming so mixed up, so angry that I can't have a civil discourse. And as you notice in the beginning of this, I despise the fact that we can't do this anymore, but I still respect it, right? I put out a video like this to hopefully reach the minds and hearts of people who have surrounded themselves and gone, you know what, this guy, this weird old dude talking to me on YouTube might be right about this, right? But at the end of the day, if you choose to surround yourself with yes people, I'm going to go, that's your choice. You're basically snubbing your own life and your own growth as an individual, but that is your choice to do that, right? Please remember, echo chambers are an awful thing. They might help you feel better right now, but they darn sure will not help you grow as a person. They darn sure will not ensure that you are doing the best that you can do for yourself or for others. They're not going to make sure that you're held accountable for when you are not in alignment with the goals you want to make, right? So just a little idea for thought. Please remember, echo chambers are absolutely a bad thing, and always do your best to invite somebody into your circle that doesn't think like you. If nothing else, they'll make sure that the solutions that you're providing are going to be the best for certain. That way, you have a different opinion on what it is that you're doing, and you can defend it. Have a great day.